1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just to sync us up. All right. So we're working, let's see, like on the center right-hand side here first. So.
Right.
And now we can see what the hell that they were doing, too.
Exactly. Now,
So
when we first started, this is when I was calmly explaining how we're going to try to do interlocking fields of fire here.
Yeah.
And you can see on the right, the whole point was to interlock the 88s and then have everything support the 88s. You can see the 88 here, zoomed in. I'm looking to support it with some type of artillery, make sure we have anti-tank and anti-personnel lined up in front of it. So you really don't want the 88 exposed to direct fire. You want the armor to drive in front of it.
Yeah.
And then
they've got a good road up here. Hit the C just to show a little bit of that range. Yeah. See, the problem was, though, that by the time they were able to come in, see, who is that? Was that Baumgartner?
No, Eppensteiner.
Who was it? Well, who's the one who ended up taking it?
Nope,
it must have been on the left then.
Yeah, you probably. On the left, we got absolutely smashed.
Although I did end up like removing him and replacing him with the driving unit, so maybe it does end up by the time we actually started going.
Well, so if you actually look at their setup, you can see why we got smashed. As the computer, of course, following the roads down.
Right, the
it crosses the X right there at that intersection. Is just, if we could have got 288s on that intersection, hindsight is always 20/20.
Yeah.
That would have just been a turkey shoot. But going back over, here we do finish setting up the far right defense, anchored with a Martyr 3.
Yep.
And
him kind of hiding back, but then able to, if he needs to come out, which he does, pull up a little bit and start hammering for anything that really pushes hard on the right-hand side.
Right.
While he has this 88 here, has the ability to shoot up and hopefully, like you said, get that interlocking field of fire on the road there.
Right, with these 288s supporting one another, as well as the machine guns there supporting one another, my MG34s. So, and of course, I do remember when this started, this poor recon up front ended up having a bad day and running. So, surprisingly, this did not collapse. I thought this would have been more the weaker side of anything.
Well, if you look at what they had, I guess it wasn't as combined.
Right.
A lot of infantry.
Infantry.
It looks like
these
3
guys
Shermans
would have
there.
came here and followed and run into this pack.
Which they did. But
this group here would have hit this road and wound up right into this trap, which actually they did. Unfortunately, if you look at the range of the Pupchin, it almost reached where it needed to. But not quite, because the range is only 500 yards, and it needed at least 800 to actually be involved in any of the fighting.
Yeah.
So again, hindsight is 20/20. I would have took a different anti-tank gun and put that there.
Yeah, and the other thing happened to be that the one thing we had feared, especially on the 88s, was we were phoned up to artillery fire, and that's what really softened them up, especially when they came out swinging right at the beginning, took out a couple of their units. And they had the armored artillery, so it's not like, whereas the 88s,
counter battery them,
are the people. So as they get worn down, that attrition, you just can't make that up.
No, but there's a payoff. You do have 12 men for each 88, but the attrition, you can't keep that up.
Talk a little bit about the specifics going on in here, because originally we started over here on the right side and on the left side, and then we realized we kind of had a hole here in the middle that we needed to sort of fill in.
Good point. We did. When we first started doing this, we had great interlocking fields of fire here. We had the right side well figured out.
Right, because we saw this kind of elbow along the road here.
And then we also saw the elbow doing the exact opposite the other way. So we started building that way. And it was at that point that I kind of mentioned, was like, holy smokes, we do have a gaping hole in the middle.
Yeah.
So I did put in a new attempt, these light gun 42s, the LG 42s. That was kind of a new thing for me. It was a multi-purpose gun. I will be honest, I was slightly disappointed in the actual outcome, but again, they were overwhelmed by the amount of just material pure weight of material coming down the road.
And one of the reasons we had such a hole in the center there was because the two 88s on the right and on the left, they can't see through that heavy cover there, so they were unable to shoot anything coming down from that right in the center.
But so we had this.
So we put up the center one there. But what's his vision looking like there?
Oh, he actually had incredible vision.
Yeah, he does. He's got it pretty wide open there.
And he was sparse on the road, but that was okay because I was hoping they would stop taking pop shots at the LG-42 and any infantry in the left L of the hedgerows. So, and of course, I have the Stug 42 in the center, and that was supposed to be my anti-tank. Because we did do heavily armored in the middle, and in order to harden up the defense where we couldn't have 88s interlocked, so we kind of had to have survivability in mind. That's kind of why we went armored there.
Yeah.
So, and I do believe that sets up. Oh, there you go. That's right. We're starting to match up the artillery now.
Yeah, you can see you started to lay a few of those.
To match up, yep. Figured when you resupply, normally about the time you need to resupply your artillery or your 88, the other one needs ammo, and it makes it quite convenient. So, and it's not too big of a risk to have your resupply trucks going everywhere.
Which, did you end up having those resupply trucks in A at the very beginning, or did you wait to bring them in as reinforcements?
Well, you made a very good point in the beginning. I mean, those are $35 a piece. So that would have been a significant purchase in the very beginning.
More than $100, yeah. That's just sitting there waiting
to be used.
You can bring them in at any time
and
for the breakthrough.
Right, and they were hitting us so much with artillery and splash damage that I do believe at some point they would have just been destroyed.
Yeah, they would have got caught up. They would have been driven somewhere, got forgotten about for a minute, and then you look back and they're just gone.
So at no point did really any of my units run out of ammo until later in the game, and then I noticed and was able to bring up my supply truck because they were still alive. Yeah. So, and at this point, see it.
Yeah, now we're filling out the far left flank.
Right, now, see, at this point, you've also pretty much run out of money. 88s are not a cheap...
Yeah, what is that, 160?
140.
140,
yeah, that comes with the half track.
Right, with the half track.
Then we decided to go with the half track.
Didn't end up doing anything. I don't think they got any. Just the position that they were in, they just got taken out immediately.
Artillery? Wouldn't
I think
they have no armor.
from the armor.
But yeah,
the artillery was working.
You can see I attempted to do crossfire here to have something going on in the middle of this field.
Which was a good idea because, they were coming down the road from the north on either side.
The problem is, look at the range.
Yeah.
Okay, the 1,200 yards, you just barely get there to the crossroads. You really need to hem them up before they get to the crossroads so you create a huge traffic jam. So, hindsight again. But no, this one...
It was a good defensive line.
I was going to say, actually, this was a pretty good defensive line.
The only problem is he's so exposed from anything coming down. There's nothing else to draw the fire of any of these units coming from the north. They can see pretty much that corner right there is cut out. He had to be there because that's where he needed to be able to see them. But he's pretty much vulnerable and wide open. I think he gets taken out pretty quickly.
And there we go. See, I set up hard in the corner, figuring they're going to take armor around. Again, my disappointment with the Pupchin is I didn't allow for the limited range. See, 600 yards, or 6 meters, is what was required for me to actually be able to engage effectively. So if I would have probably moved him, not even moved him up to where he is. Just the wrong unit. Yeah, he needed more range.
Did they come around this? They had one tank, I think, coming around that way.
They came around that way, again, had he had more range, he also would have been more effective in assisting this main line
Now, this is the side that collapsed pretty quickly.
Wow. Yes. Between the weight, yeah. They did run through us pretty well. And we even made a good attempt in holding. We fell back constantly, reinforced constantly. This was a contention point throughout the entire game. Whereas, again, on the right, for some reason, setting up our crossfire, it was very effective at holding. I was able to forget about the right.
The 88s, the hard points were shielded pretty well.
Yes.
Except for, he was able to get pinned on because from the openness here, that 88 on that side.
Would you want him to back up farther and deeper defense and sucker him in?
See, because here, what can he see? Up along there. See, he can't see anything past where this bend kind of comes on. So he starts shooting. He's the only one shooting. They take care of him. Then they move on because he can't see around that bend there.
Yeah, you're right.
So the interlocking fields fire didn't work out like we had hoped.
Because he's engaging at 1200, so he's engaging way out here.
Right. And then he's got a blind spot right here.
So next time,
he should have been. He should have been here.
Yeah, you're right.
We worried about having him exposed, but him not being able to see
was the detriment. So no, at that point, you had him there to begin with. And
I put him on the side because you had something else.
Yeah, direct fire. No, you had him there. I didn't have anything there.
See, we were hoping with this light armor down here that we would be able to solve any problems coming up in the center that the 88s can handle. But, of course, assuming that we could sort of hold them up with the two 88s going at once, which didn't work out.
Despite it not even working out, they still held this whole line.
Until the artillery swept them up, I think.
Yes.
Is when it got them.
And there was a point that, we were running on time and we need to tighten our lines in order to survive, so... Yeah. We pretty much ran for the town, abandoned our positions, jumped the foxhole. But yeah, I was just about to say, it does look like we've pretty much set up. I've even got my artillery off
heavy
map
battery.
My heavy railroad battery set in the center because, again, I was like, this is going to be a point of contention. Mm-hmm. And I read the roads
the range
wrong.
Too limited?
Oh, no. When I was dropping them, it was dropping right here in the town, right where I figured we would be hemmed in. And you see all the fire you can direct right at that town in front of us in the no man's zone.
It's just that the road didn't cross. It was just the one.
Yeah.
Instead of here, it was the two. That right there.
Again, I read the roads wrong. Had I read the roads, this X...
Right.
Oh, my goodness. That's where we should have just put everything we had, and it would have been a turkey shoot. But hindsight, always hindsight. I mean, it's easy to say when you're looking at how the enemy set up.
But good to know for the future.
I do believe we were set up for almost any purpose. And there's your martyr.
Unfortunately, he got pretty much, as soon as he peered out, there was so much armor coming around that it just stopped him cold.
Like you said, this whole line collapsed.
Yeah.
You'll see the amount of fire they put on this trees. It was phenomenal. All the artillery is set, each one, except for the center, which I used off-map artillery. Oh, yeah, you did have one in the center.
Yeah, I had four. One far left, center, right, far right. Like you said, I had them grouped. Bang. Two in the left, the middle two, and then the rightmost two. So, all right.
Oh, and there it goes.
Yep, dial back the speed.
Now,
and you brought in that plane immediately.
I
you
did.
See, they saw it coming and they deployed.
Yeah.
Right there in the center.
Oh, I did get one right off.
Yeah,
right off the bat.
That was the first kill.
He did get chased out quite quickly.
Yeah, and then the 88s start firing.
Oh yeah, I thought he was a dead man right off the bat. Here comes the P-51, just grinning his butt off.
Boom.
Knocked him out. He's smoking. I'm like, please take him out. And I told you, I was like, he takes him out. There's the shot, and he crashes way off in the back. And I do believe that.
That's Graf.
Yeah, that's Graf. Stoser.
On the right, because that's yours.
That's Spillman.
Baumgarten.
Yeah,
He's
Baumgarten.
the one that starts killing guys.
Oh,
here
wow,
at the
and
beginning.
look, he's already
right. Yeah,
pinned
immediately.
down.
He got those kills, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it was, and the artillery just starts wearing him down and pinning him down so he can't fire.
The medium mortar truck. Yup. Medium mortar cars.
But then, yeah, there's that center artillery taken out.
Yeah, these light guns, like I said, I'm not sure if they did anything very well. Immediately, they started
Get that limited range. They shouldn't have been on the front line, you know.
They should have been behind it.
But look at that on the left. We don't know what's coming over there.
Oh, yeah. No, because it's all behind the bushes.
Yeah.
So all we saw was a little bit of machine guns. And, yeah, it just piled up, and they just rushed us. The amount of distance between our lines and their lines. See, there in the beginning, I even thought I had the advantage. I would have had that pupchin. Had the range. Oh, and this is
so
where
we're holding off a little bit here. Now things start to wear down, and we need to fall back. And see, my 88 in the center over here, he's shooting at the infantry instead of at these guys who need to die.
Yes.
Because my 88 has already been knocked out over here on the far right. Baumgarten.
Yeah, Baumgarten.
And then boom, right there. He starts to take a hit from your light gun.
Yep. Which is immediately annihilated.
And now he's exposed before they go, so those two American Shermans
But
go,
here's the thing. Now they're in
approach.
range. No matter what they do, these are devastating hits. And then you see here comes off-map artillery. I had that constantly going pretty much whenever I had the chance just to bomb in front of them, hold them back.
Yeah.
But again, you can see they were very light in the middle.
Yeah, where you thought that. Yeah, look at that.
When this happened right here, I was taken aback. We didn't quite know what to do to handle this situation. And my far right group, or far left group, I apologize, was so far away they could not interact.
Right, they're just sitting there.
I should have had it.
Whereas, I mean, this 88's going to work on these guys up here. But they just get overwhelmed. And see, you can see my martyr is coming up. But he just gets caught trying to fuck around that bush.
Yeah, here comes that horrible push. Oh, that's the Free French, it looks like. Yep. That was my artillery.
The martyr there, yeah.
No, that was your artillery there. Coming in and trying to break up the attack.
He's pulling back here, and he just gets
there
immobilized
goes your engine.
and
I remember you even saying that. My engine's blown. Damn it.
Because I was just, come on, back up.
And toast.
And he had his fucking underbelly.
Yeah.
And there goes the 88.
There goes your protection. Yep. And there's the 88 under fire. Stoser.
But then look at that. Your 88 in the center just took out one of those while they're occupied. Oh, no, that's mine there.
Yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Graf.
Boom,
He's
right there.
He's having a field day. Now, that's
just
what he was supposed to be doing.
And now, those two were working in tandem pretty well. They just got overwhelmed by all that infantry fire.
Well, it was too close.
Yeah.
They just overwhelmed. I mean, they had triple the amount of units. Just not enough fire. Plus, they had artillery backing them up. They were well set up for this. And then I tried to set up a desperate defense with the command units I have left. And a highly elite.
Here's your Papuchin's finally getting going. But as soon as he opens up, hey, you got one, but he's exposed himself to the other one who's out of range.
Exactly. Who's out of range. And he's just going to rip them to pieces. Now, that was your artillery that did that, if I'm correct.
Yeah, they got held up, and I was trying to pound them and finish them off. I don't think I got too many of them, but they were able to fall back.
But you gave me a chance to solidify here for a second and catch my breath, which is all I needed. And this is when this light tank...
Oh, and you got yours coming down, what's that, right here.
Yeah, to back us up.
And they're going to meet right there on the road.
Oh, he was all the way back over here. And no, actually right here. Yeah, and I was like, dude, you have to come around and help. There's nothing else for it. And look, Graf is still going to work.
Boom. He's stopping the infantry from pushing up, even on the left-hand side. I can't imagine those two artillery mortars are going to go.
Again, surprisingly, we were able to solidify this
even
quite
without
well.
that 88 support, we were able to hold them off for a good bit on the right-hand side here before everybody was able to reinforce it. Hey, you see they're about to meet the light armored vehicles there on the left.
Yep.
Those two. Oh, no, because he's busy taking out all this right now.
And he's going to support to break up that.
Yep.
I noticed he was shooting at him. I'm like, not the problem. That's not the problem. I was at this point planning on his veterancy and realizing he had a very small cannon.
Yeah, he got the jump on you, I think, unless he's going for this.
But
nope. Right there. Bounce.
See, bounce. It's 20 mil cannon, I do believe, where he's got a 75. And I'm like, gotta charge, wah, wah, wah. And then, of course, the machine gun.
Just mopped up,
yeah. He's mopping us up at this point. And I do realize that
there's nothing.
Nothing.
From there to the town.
So I butt rush him with my infantry. This is like the last ditch. And then out of the blue, save us.
Sattler.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
But he doesn't survive, does he?
He actually is able to get the heck out of Dodge. But let me tell you, I do believe that did irritate him.
Oh, he's still circling.
Oh,
he didn't want to go home.
He didn't want. Well, I don't have it on automatic Winchester. So at that point, they drive him off.
And then shoot him down.
Is this where he lived?
Yeah, look at that. Got the fighter coming right at you.
The 88s? Oh, yeah.
Oh, the 88s are busy or
gone.
Toast, yeah.
I'm commanding imaginary units. Who does that remind you of?
You got to do what you can.
Yeah, right?
With what you have, and even with what you don't have.
Even with what you don't have.
Now, see, we were able to stall them out. They were like, guys, push, stop. Yeah, they held real nice.
Look at that.
And then the artillery was able to
Seven
soften
guys.
Up. So as commanders.
Yes. And the elite units.
Yeah.
And your artillery. You were phenomenal with that artillery. And here we fold. At that point, I yell out, save yourself. Here, you run.
He tries to get away.
He tries. I take off running. You're like, what? Oh, crap, we're leaving? I'm already gone. And at this point, we're looking at consolidating everything. No, I do believe, we're still holding here.
Yeah, they haven't been able to overwhelm us there.
That's right, 25 seconds.
Yeah, it wasn't until they got reinforcements.
Did we fall back? Yeah, did we fall back again? And I'll be honest, look, their whole attack has just stalled out phenomenally. What's that? They're rolling their mortar trucks up front to engage. That's the kind of battle I like. They sent the cooks. He ran out of ammo killing Germans.
And now we're in phase B.
Which you can see.
As it hit immediately.
Boom. And there's the armored artillery. That was what we were worried about. And here's our reply. Go get him.
Pizza, hot and ready.
Yes, sir. And see, we're still leaving. I keep telling you to run. Your Fusiliers over there are like, we're waiting for you. Foolishly. I appreciate it. I do believe they die saving
the
our
Fusiliers died, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but they were able to save our little group running. So, 2 Fusiliers.
Just look at that on the mini-map up here.
The not new infantry.
I don't even think we realized it was phase B yet. We were like...
Oh, no.
Because we haven't brought anything up.
Well, no, we're still in the middle of a fight.
I don't think you deployed that guy for the whole game.
I did. But I was so busy micromanaging everything else. They
didn't want to get out of their truck.
No.
They must have had some good Credence tapes. They didn't come around for 30 more years or so.
Now the driver rolled down the window, heard what was going on the front, rolled it back up, and turned the heater on. Was like, nah, dude, we're good.
Just gonna stay here.
Yeah, we're good. See, we're good. Still, your artillery going to work phenomenally well.
When they should have been retreating.
Retreating.
All that should have been retreating.
Yes. The middle still holding phenomenally well. Spillman going to work. Graf
had a good shot at him, but he needed to hide back because if he had popped off one,
he would have. Yeah, you see all that armor
just
coming
no
down
chance
the hill.
he would have survived.
And this is where the Fusiliers save us.
They saw me.
No. Yeah, down to one guy. He doesn't even stop to look back at his buddy.
That pack gun there does a pretty good job of
holding
abating their armored push right there on the right in the center.
Yeah, look at
still
that.
Even in the front. I mean, just in the direct center.
And
no!
There goes Spillman. And I had my munitions. That's why I rolled the munitions up, was to refill them. And at that point, all I have is my Stug. And of course, here comes the reinforcements on the far left. Again, we did not realize. Yeah, we didn't realize again what we were running into. We thought there was more infantry. As you can see, that's just armor. A lot of armor. And armor.
Mortars.
Yeah, but also your grenadiers stopped. I'm not quite sure what you were thinking, but if you look at my guys, they didn't stop running.
My guys want to be heroes.
Now, to recap what's going on over here, we still held our line here. We were doing phenomenally well. Your mortar was set up for anti-tank, but
they didn't bring any.
Well, the infantry was absolutely holding their own. The middle here was under fire, but still holding their own. This was starting to collapse here in the middle, and you just lost your 88, the last one here. So the far left just officially collapsed. Now I'm doing my best. This is where it gets interesting. To hide my anti-tank in order to build an anti-tank defense. They're coming too close. So I decided to open fire before my anti-tank here are ready. So I'm trying to alternate left and right, and then go back and forth. Now you can see I have at least 3 anti-tank guns, plus the 2 here, and it was still not enough to stem this tide. You can just see the amount of fire they're pouring on. And I keep them on the front lines. They got to shoot at something. If it's not my anti-tank guns, I'm all right with it. Now, you'll notice none of them are Pupchins.
Yeah, these are all the Pack 38s.
Yeah, these are my Pack 38s and these Pack 41s, which, I mean, I appreciate their veterancy. They were willing to stick it out, but I really needed better guns at this distance. They're shooting 8 at 1,000. They're just throwing tennis balls. Your mortar's working. Look at that. Got the machine gun at long range. They're using a good effective smoke screen.
And now you can see we've fallen back pretty much along the whole front lines up in the center as well.
No, I'm still holding this out. Same with you. Well, that is you actually holding this out.
It's because they didn't know any better.
that is also very possible. You gave up on that. Oh, and you see that? Guess what that is? That was the general retreat order. You see everybody on this side running. Look, your tank's like, yep, screw it. We're out of here. We just now realized what we were up against. This is still a desperate defense. One pack gun rolls up. This one guy holding a pack gun, pinned down. His buddy pinned down. So I'm like, all right.
Those two falling back. The martyr falling back.
Oh, I remember this point. That's when these scouts, you desperate, crazy bastards, I love you. See, I just put them on do not return fire. I mean, they waited. They could have walked out and touched the armor. And here they're shooting at your MG42 because foolishly it thought it could stop the infantry. Drove some back, but they paid for that. No, I do believe they do die here.
And they start to move up. In range, you take off the return fire, but it looks like the artillery's got you numbered, and they saw you, yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't take off return fire. It was on the scouts. These guys I wanted to shoot. At this point, it's too desperate. There goes my machine gun. I'm running another anti-tank gun up. I'm driving another one in. You're driving your tank forward. We're talking desperate defense. Oh, there goes your tank. Now I wait
There's
for
your
it.
Capuchin. You're finally within a good range where they can start to maybe be effective.
Right? Wait for it. Wait for it, scouts. And do it. What?
Oh.
What?
Driver wounded, but the gunner's still going.
And yes.
But then he got taken out by your other tank, AT gun,
which is the Pac 50, which took advantage of him. Now he's like, oh crap, what did I do? What have I done?
Himself.
And the Puchin's like, this is where
Come
I
on.
shine. Nope.
Do it for the other
3
boys.
stars and you still screw it up, pal. No, 3 stars, he still screws it up. I was cursing. Oh, I was cursing at this point.
But they weren't able to advance any further, which is really...
No, we stalled it. Well, look at the amount of tanks they just lost. I see 3 burning right there on this side of the hedgerow. There's another 3 right there. I mean, we peppered that armor all the way to this hedgerow. And at this point, I have officially run out of anti-tank. Effective anti-tank. I do believe you'll see a bazooka. Panzerschreck drive forward. Now, this is the general retreat, and this was a mess. Because we were doing so much micromanage. I was doing so much micromanaging.
And we had units across the whole front line. It's not like how we usually segregate, like you take the left, I'll take the right.
You take the right.
No, it was everywhere.
It was, this was just a terrible mess. And there goes another unit. But we caused them to fall back.
The monitors are able to start to return a little bit of fire.
I remember this. You're like, and you run.
I was like, get the hell out.
Does he make it? Do you remember? Oh, no. Oh, I remember that. Oh. Short but sweet. And at this point, the Panzer... my Fury unit, command unit, I was like, dude, you're it. The Papuchin, I just did the measurement, and, I mean, he doesn't have it. So I put him on return fire until we get to the sweet spot, and then please don't screw this one up. Oh, and what do? They
missed.
Yeah, they missed. So they pitch another one. Nope.
Should have got a baseball player.
There we go. Finally, a Puchin pays for itself.
And phase C is just about to start. This is the final phase of the game. And you can see this is what it was. We needed to get 6,000 points total. We weren't sure what ended the game.
We weren't
before they were able to take the town.
And look at you. You foolishly still have not retreated. Oh, my
They were afraid of that front line. You can see what's about to come now.
Yeah. I mean, dude, the stubborn defense, I'll give it to you. You were a stubborn defense across. Now you see me right here, completely falling back. These guys.
Now here's our reinforcements starting to come up along the left,
the
bottom left-hand side.
This was, we realized.
That Jag, as soon as that Jag came out, you'll see fucking 2 airplanes.
Go immediately after it. Yep. Look at that.
I was like, oh yeah, my Jag Panthers finally getting in the game. Enemy air contact. Oh god.
Oh god. And of course you can see exactly where they're going.
They hit him in the front armor, which I think is what saved him. Because he takes 2.
Yeah, he took some good hits. I mean, they shoot at 22, but they're only a 15. They're not a Tiger. And this is where we set up, again, the desperate defense. You see the Panzerschreck moving forward. Here, again, you remember when that light tank was coming around?
Mm-hmm.
It was killed by my airplane. Now here's the next desperate defense. We got a tank, M10, rolling up, just shooting in on us. Here comes the town.
Just to the north of the town, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This was becoming a mess. I send in Kubelwagen to reinforce my Stug 42, which was still fighting at this point.
My pack gun's still shooting up, holding them off.
I know, and look at that, your artillery.
Look at all that on the far right.
Yeah, but they ran out of guns. That's, I mean, you held them to the end. I'm impressed. And you one each. Look at you. Look at you.
We hold to the last man. There is no retreating in my army.
Not one step backwards. You do know we're German, right?
I'm role playing here.
Right. Now, this is where he made a mistake and crossed into that. And this is where in phase C, I just flood anything and everything with this cheap infantry.
Whereas I brought out all 4 of my Jag Panthers.
In a
couple of mostly anti-tank armored units that could take a little bit of a beating. Because I just didn't want to lose because we can't make that money back and get the rest of the units out there. Look at all that shit going on.
Well, see, this is why I needed chafe. We needed something to stem. And I didn't know exactly what they were hitting us with. So anything I could put up there was 1 second better. Now, to be honest, I did not focus on this.
Ooh, that was a nice little hit right there.
These are my Jaegers. They're badass. Don't get me wrong. Oh, but my focus again was over here in this desperate defense. I was doing everything I could to hold this left, and I just
now my Jag Panther. He was the one, like I said, right here on this road as they was come down this strip.
Oh, and look,
boom.
my Stug, Command Stug 3, rolling up to help you. It was a tag team effort. Yep, because I rolled up another Stug on the other side of the town to help with the Martyr. Yep, right there. There's that Stug, just for command. Flooding the town with cheap, expendable. Hit me with artillery. And here comes my off map, just as a shield. Really, I didn't know what was there.
Yeah.
And this, to be honest, if they could have got through this and actually hit our town to the side, they would have cut our reinforcements off and we would have lost the town. So the fact that we held the left, because look at what they're doing on the right. Yeah, they stopped. Had they kept going, because look.
That Martyr just disappeared.
Here's more.
Evaporated.
Yeah. Yeah, now all we have is a 20 mil flat cannon stopping everything. Hey, he's there. See, he finally got
deployed.
Out of his
Yeah, he did.
No, and look. Oh, are we going to shoot? We are thinking about it.
Fehrenbach.
No.
Let's readjust. Don't give our position away just yet. Hold on. Let's test the wind. Well, the wind's blowing.
The wrong way. We can't shoot. All right, on to the battle. Hey. Not all my artillery guys went to college. Yeah, at this point.
Every time they try to cross that tree line.
A desperate defense. It was. What do we have back here? Oh, that's right. We were anchored, and you were right there. That's why I kept them right there. Wow, nice layered defense. Nice layered defense. And, of course, that Pupchin's still doing jack.
They tried to take out my Jag Panther again with those two. And you see him falling back with your Stug.
Yeah, that's when they hit this. Yeah, that's right.
Didn't destroy him, though.
They just drove him back.
And they lost the section of the town that they had taken. They just couldn't hold on to it. Which allowed us, once we got the points, to win, to get the ultimate victory.
Yep, and there's my Stug.
And I believe There's another Jag coming up right here.
Oh, look at that, helping. Again, with the crossfire. You see that? And that was an unintended crossfire between the two. Fantastic. Right there on the road. Oh. It's fireworks. That was a M4 Sherman. We want to take the other one out? Anybody? Oh! Ting. Zing! Hey!
That's crowd high velocity.
Yeah, crowd high velocity.
How can you tell?
It whistled. Back the hell out.
That's Brad Pitt. There
he goes. Oh, yeah, look at that.
There he is, yeah.
There he is.
He doesn't have his STG.
Well, hopefully, Brad Pitt, don't quote us on that. We don't have the money to pay it. Now, again, I flooded this town, and I'm so nervous I'm moving forward, because if I move forward, they'll die.
Yeah. And
if I die, we'll lose everything. And here's this desperate defense still being pinned down. Got grenadiers, got a half-ass Jaeger unit. It is a mess.
Got my fucking Jag Panthers just working on mowing down infantry.
Yep.
They're too afraid to bring up that armor. They know what's there.
And now you've depleted your anti-tank rounds. Look at that. Who's off map artillery? Oh, that was yours.
Yeah.
Nice. And that's when it ended. But see, if you look back, did you not see they had the town? Where it said secure the town, the front had gone on their side and secure the town.
Yeah. But they didn't take the town. They didn't secure the whole thing.
No, I think I had enough infantry there to where I could have pushed back and kicked them out.
Yeah.
And I had command, too.
If the game would have ended when we lost the town, we might not have gotten a chance to take it back from them. Because they might have, well, I don't think they had any points left at that point.
Oh, yeah.
They might have blew their load getting the town, but the game might not have given us a chance to take it back, if that was their ultimate objective. I'm not sure exactly what, because they also had to take a certain percentage of the map. I'm not sure what that was, but we only had to get to a certain number of points before they were able to do that.
Yeah.
So it turned out pretty good. Nice victory, I think.
Nice victory.